Is the stream started, Marcela? I see. I don't see the stream here. Is it started? Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, fellow coders. You're watching a new live coding show of codetap. I'm your host, Marian, and tonight we are going to continue to style the experience section that we started last night. For those ones that are new over here, let me tell you a bit more about it. Right now we are building our online resume using HTML5 and CSS3. So all our videos that codetap produces are available for free on Facebook and YouTube. And on YouTube, if you visit youtube.com/codetap/playlists, let me open a new window. youtube.com/codetap/playlists. You can find all the videos nicely organized in playlists, and the one that we are currently working on is called Your Resume Online for free using HTML5 and CSS3. So if you want to get to the same point where we are right now, just click on this list. Let me help you and follow those videos step by step, and you'll get to where we are today. Also, don't forget to subscribe once you got on YouTube. Okay, so this is the link. While I set up the windows and make sure that everything is right, let's get to know each other a bit better. So drop a comment below with the place that you're visiting from. Okay, so that's the window, the browser window. And over here, this is what we've built last time. We've built this experience over here. It's not styled yet. We are about to style it. And once we click on those titles over here, some content is revealed. Once we click on another title, the previous content is hidden and the next one is revealed. So right now we want to start styling this. So let's click the Explorer icon over here, open the Experience CSS, and let's start with the header. Okay, so in Pag we have this experience header. Let's copy it, the CSS selector, hit a couple of times enter. Let me quickly open the on-screen keyboard. Okay, and set the color to periwinkle gray. So color. And if we go into the config, over here we have a file with lots of colors. And if we copy this periwinkle gray and paste it in and save it, let's see how this experience changes over here. Oh, not that one. Okay, so we can see that it changed color. Let's make it a bit bigger right now because I'm pretty sure it's very small on your screens. Okay, so we also remember that we created this shareable properties called header. So instead of writing them for each section that we go through, we just extend from it. So let's do extend header. And once we save it, you can see that this one became a bit more nicely styled. Okay, so we've done the header. The next one we can do is the experience title, which I'm having some trouble. Okay, this one, this experience title, which is this one, the unicorn trainer, the superstar, and so on. So we copied the selector. Let's go back to CSS, paste it, and let's add some color to it. Let's do BG color, and in our colors we can put this gumbo color. Okay, So now you can see that those ones receive the background color. Let's also make the text color white. By the way, guys, for the new ones that are over here, at the end of this lesson, there will be questions and answers, so stay tuned until the end of it. Okay, and we want this title to be 100% in width, and the easiest way to do it is to say display block. Okay, and now you can see that it spans 100% in width. Okay, let's do some font size. Let's do 1 REM. That's the default one. Let's do 1.5. Okay, any comments so far? Okay, 1.5. Let's do 2. Well, so far 2 looks okay. By the way, if the text is has more characters, and let's say like this one over here, if it has more characters and the font size makes it break on 2 lines, and it's, let's say, an exception, just decrease a bit the font size and it should be fine. Let's say just play with the size that it's 1.9, 1.8 until you see that it fits nicely on the screen. Let's also do some padding. Okay, that looks nice. Let's see, even better. Okay, this looks nice too. At the same time, when we click on those ones, we can see that now it shows the reveal in a bit better. And what we want to do is we want to hide those inputs type radio, because right now we know that they get activated by clicking on this label that we've just styled. We are styling the experience title that is this label. So when you click on it, it activates those radios. So let's hide them. It's the experience input. Okay, and if we go, we already have experience details over here that has display none. So let's do experience input also with display none. So if we continue clicking, it still works. And let's also, actually let's leave this on for the moment over here. We'll definitely hide it later on, but I want to make sure that you understand that this is kind of the reset one. Right now we can't unselect this one unless we click on this, and then nothing is selected over here, so all the details are hidden. As soon as we click on another one, it shows. Okay, so at the moment we leave this as is, and later on we'll deal about it. Okay, so we've done the experience title, and this is for the mobile version. However, if you want to deal with it on the desktop version, it doesn't look like you can interact with it. So let's see. Let's add a cursor and pointer to it. The value for the cursor should be pointer, and on the desktop, then the current cursor right now changes to a hand, so it indicates that you can interact with it. So users might be, it might be easier for them to understand that you can click on it. Okay, and let's see what else. I think we could start with this one over here. So okay. So the next part, this one over here, is the experience details. If we inspect it, okay, so we can see that, let me unselect this. If we hover over this experience details, it shows that this part is it, and then we have the experience top with the date and the company, and then date and company, and then an experience list with the responsibilities that you had to do at that particular place. Okay, so for the experience details, let's start styling it a bit. Okay, let's add a border to it. Let's add firstly a big border, 1 REM, and color of it should be the one on top of over here, one of those ones. Let's do color gumbo, solid color gumbo. Okay, so now you can see that it's a bit thick, so let's do 0.1 or 0.2. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, and the same time for the top, no. Let's leave it like this for the moment. Let's start with this one over here that I selected. Is the experience top, right? It's this one over here. So let's copy it and do experience top. And the easiest way to separate those two divs inside it and make them appear on the same line is to do display flex. Okay, and now we can set the spacing, justify content and space. You can do space around or space between. I think space between is what we are looking for now. Space between. Okay, that looks better. And the experience, let's make this italic and then this bold. Okay, so let's copy it from over here, the experience date. Okay, font style italic. Now that's oblique. And then we got the experience company, and we want to make this bold. Font weight, bold. Okay, and we should add some padding and increase the font size for both of them. So experience company and experience date. Okay, and let's do font size 1.5 rem, 1.3, 1.4 should be fine. One of them anyway, because we don't want to make this date too big, so they don't overlap one on top of each other. So let's do 1.3 and some padding, 1 rem. Let's see if it works nicely, otherwise we might reduce it. Well, so far it looks okay. Okay, that looks good. Anyway, okay, we've done that too. And now for the responsibilities, let's copy the experience responsibility and style it. Okay, so let's add some padding over here, 1 rem. As far as I can see, on the left and on the right side it looks okay. However, I think it's a bit too much spacing between the lines. So this tells us to set the padding for top, left, bottom and right. So another shortcut would be to say 0.5 rem. So this means this is for the top and bottom, and this is for the left and right, which we know that it looks okay. So now we've reduced the top and bottom padding, and the font size should be fine. Or let's try another one. Font size 1.2 rem. Yeah, looks okay. There's a line height too. Yeah, it looks better now. And what we would also like to do is to add a background to it. However, I would like to add a background that alternates. So one time is one and another time is another one. So let me copy paste some colors over here. and do this one, and nth child, and the odd one, and do the big background color, and we add also font here. So now we can see that there is a background color here and makes a separation. And let's do the same for the even rows. So I selected that with this spacing over here, right? So because I don't want to press another time enter, Alt Shift down arrow and do the even one. And let me copy paste another color over here. Okay, so now you can see that the colors are alternating nicely. It's a lot easier to read. And on top of that, we know what we do with colors. We copy them and we put them in the color section. So let's do two more. That's one of them, and this is the other one. However, we want to also name them like artists do, with a human rememberable color. So not like color 1, color 2, color 3. So let's Google name that color and go on this website over here, name that color. Let me make it a bit bigger. Okay, this one, CRAG projects name that color, and paste it in here. And this one is called Fantasy. Just a second. So this one is Fantasy. Okay, and the other one should be Twilight. That sounds a bit creepy. Monsters. Okay, so Fantasy and Twilight. Okay, so I got Twilight copy already. So let's replace this one over here. Color Twilight and color Fantasy. So now it looks nice, and let's make sure that it also works the way we intended. So yes, nothing changed, all is like we intended to be. And right now we can still reset by using this one over here. However, I would like to add one on each of those titles. I would like to add like an X or a plus. If it's plus, it tells us that we can expand it. If it's like a cross, it tells us that we can close it. So let's do that. And the way to do that is to go to the experience pug, and over here where the title is, if I press Alt Z, it should show me everything in one place. So let's hit an enter here, and the way to start some text without a tag in pug is to do the pipe. And now I'm pretty sure the equal would not work anymore. So another way to interpolate a variable would be to put a pound in front of it and then wrap the variable in curly braces. So now nothing changed, everything is back in place. However, we've refactored this, and let's also add here, well, we want to add this label, okay, for experience default. So whenever we click on this label, it will activate this input. Let's quickly add AAA so you can see it. So this is where that plus would be. However, if we go into our font, let's see if we have here, we have the MV icon plus. So let's copy this class here, come on, very nicely. Let me see which one. Hey Zalim, sure, shoot. Let's hear your question. Okay, so I've copied that class over there. Let's go to experience pug. Let me know when Zalima or and add a span into it with the class of my CV icon plus. Okay, so we have this plus over here, and let's also style it. I want that plus to be on the right side. So let's close this file and into experience CSS. Let's do AV icon plus display, no, load left, right, not left. Well, background color fantasy. We haven't saved our colors, and now everything looks nicely. So the plus is on this side, however right now it doesn't do anything. So I would like, because this plus is on top of this title, you cannot click over here, so let's fix that for the moment. Let's disable the cursor for this for the moment. So you say cursor, no, pointer events, none. So now if we click, it will look like we click through it. So even if we click over here, it clicks through it and it expands it. Okay. So what's the question? No, not yet. We'll wait. Okay, so right now, when we expand it, we want to rotate this plus. So if it's a plus like this and we rotate it, it will become an X, right? So in order to rotate it, let's see what we need to do. So we have this input over here, then this is the label, and which is the next sibling of the input, and the next sibling of the label is the experience details, but we don't go that far, we actually go into this one. So in experience title, we have, where is it? No, bait lost, let me find it. So it's experience default, yeah, it's in here. And this one, this is what we want to target. Okay, so let's find the experience title that is next to a checked experience title that is next to a checked, well, it's none. So let's just copy this one over here, this selector, and let's make a new one. Okay, all the way down. So whenever an input is in the check state, let's select the next title, which is this one, and inside it we'll select this and CV icon plus and rotate it. Okay, and transform, rotate Z 45 degrees. Okay. So whenever an input is in the check state, let's target the title, and inside the title let's target this icon and rotate it. However, right now, because we've disabled it over here with pointer events none, when you click on it, nothing happens. So let's enable the pointer events back, all. So now when you click on it, it will activate this input, because when we click on this label, the experience default, when you click on this label, which is the plus that goes on X when it's selected, this one with the 4 pairs up with this input over here and activates it. And let's also add cursor, a hand to it. So the cursor, pointer, Okay, so it looks like that. Again, this hand only works for the desktop version. So now that we've done that, let's go back and hide this. So firstly, we no longer need this label with times, so that X should disappear. And almost there is an error, so let me undo it. Okay, so this label, I want it to be gone. Okay, and I want this input to be hidden. So if we just add a class to it, which is experience input, which we know that it has display none, it should hide it. So the experience input somewhere here has a display none on it, so we just added a class to it. And right now we can click on this, it expands, we can see our experience and the places that and the time that we've the dates that we've worked over, our responsibilities, the company, and this navigation works. If we are to add one more experience, all we have to do is, let me make this a bit bigger. Okay, so all you have to do is create another object like that, and web developer 1, super codetap 1, and 2110. See, and right now we just created another experience. That's all we have to do. We didn't have to write any more HTML and any more CSS. Once we've done it, it just generates it for us. Okay, and unless I've missed something, this should be it for tonight. So now it's time for questions and answers, and until I receive some questions, are there any questions? Yeah, Zalim, just ask like Laurencio said. Hello Laurencio, how are you? By the way, guys, don't jump on Laurencio, but he's a very, very good coder too. We are friends for a long time. We've been friends for a long time. So let me walk you through what we've done so far quickly. This is the landing page where you can click on icons and it reveals links that you can click to visit. Then we've done the About Me, where we've learned how to make images rounded with CSS and add multiple borders to it. We've created a bunch of buttons and then the words section. Okay, let me show you what, here is one, sure, that's a great question. What's justify content space between doing? Okay, let me try to illustrate it. Let's go back here, and for the moment, if we look for those two, you can see that there is a space between them, right? And those two divs, this and this, occupy the space that they need. However, the rest of the spacing that's available in Experience Top, it's divided between or among the elements that are inside. There is no spacing on the left side of experience date, and there is no spacing on the right side of the company. If we are to go over here and change the space between to space around, you'll see that right now the spacing left has been divided, and there is also spacing to the left side and the right side of those ones. So space around makes space between the elements and also the edges of the elements, while space while space justify or space between only creates space between the elements. So if you have 2, 3, or 5 elements, only between them or among them, because between is between 2 elements and among is when there are more than 2 elements. Okay, so that's why I used it, because I didn't want any spacing over here. Any spacing to the left and to the right. Yes, yes, Laurentiu, Pug is a template engine for HTML. Basically, it allows you to stitch files together, more or less, or at least include or extend files. It does more or less what PHP does, or other languages. However, it's just a superset of HTML. It's not too advanced. It only offers a few options that we are glad to use. Okay, so until we get more questions, you're welcome, Rizwan. Till we get more questions, let me show you what we are about to do in the next lessons. There are 2 more lessons left out of this series. So if we visit my resume, the next lesson would be the recent clients, or you can also convert it in something like my projects, where we'll discover how to play with images. And the last one would be to create a menu navigation, so we can jump from one place to another. Right now we have to scroll all the way up in our current project. We have to scroll manually. And in the last lesson, we'll discover how to create this navigation menu where you can click on home, it goes home, you click on the menu, it goes to the menu, and so on. So those will be the next 2 lessons before we start our new project. Okay, before we end this, let me also commit our changes. Let's not forget to commit our changes. And we forgot to say start recording, Graziella. Again, there will be no 4K option this time. We'll have crappy Facebook download. It's not recording, Graziella. It's just not recording. Sorry guys, no 4K this time. So let's commit our changes. Let's go back to the source control and stage all our changes. Finish styling the experience section. Click on the commit and also sync it to the web. One day we'll learn to press that record button every time. Okay, so if we go on codetap.io/mycv, we can see that our last commit is finish styling the experience section, and this is what we've done today. We've added more colors. We've also improved the close experience and also styled it by adding those styles. Over here you can see all the commits that we've done. There are not so many. This is where we started the project, and we've done one commit after the other until we ended up here. So it's like 14, 15 commits, something like that, 16 commits. Okay, any more questions? No more questions. I'll be waiting 1 more minute, guys. This is where you can find all the videos organized in playlists. And by the way, let me not forget, if any of you is in the process of looking for a job and you're having some hard times getting people calling you back, let me share with you my personal CV template that I use for all the interviews. So if you go to codetap.io/CV and hit enter, you'll get to the place where you can download my killer CV, resume, or whatever you want to call it, template. So this CV has evolved over the years. Where I started, there is a story over here, just read it. I started with not receiving even a call a week, and I've evolved it and I've tested it and so on until I got to the point where I receive like 30, 40, 50 calls a day once I start looking for a job. It's madness. You can't answer that many calls and keep up with pace. So I have to set a voicemail letting them know that they should also send me an email. Then you have to check lots of emails and so on. It won't be done in one day, however you can do it, and it's a nice place to be. It's a nice place to be when you're looking for a job and you can find a job like that. That's a nice place to be. So this is the story of it. If you want your free CV, just go over here and download it. Update it with your content and upload it on all the job boards that you can. If you don't know that many job boards, just drop me a comment and I can share with you my list of job boards that where I apply with my CV, or I actually just upload the CV. I don't apply to jobs, they call me. Yeah, get your free resume template. Any more questions? One more thing before I wrap up, guys. I've already set in motion a new plan, which is called codetap student. So if you go on Facebook and search for codetap student, you'll find this one over here. And on codetap student, you'll find lots of other developers. We'll start with one. And those people are beginners. They don't know how to build websites. They don't know how to do anything. And I'll guide them, and step by step they'll watch codetap's videos, and based on that and with my help I'll mentor them, and they'll get from nothing to something. They'll get from not knowing how to build a web page to be proper web developers. Once they feel comfortable, they can just continue freelancing, or just jump into a job, or maybe start their own idea, their own company. Everything is possible. Everyone can do it. You don't have to know anything at all about coding. All you have to do is have a will and set a plan for the long term, which is nice, because, well, coding right now, it's a well-paid job, or a well-paid place to be in this industry. Okay. I don't see any more questions, so I'll wrap this up, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. I might have some special guests. Let's see if it happens. If not, tomorrow night we'll be doing the clients section. Thank you for watching. You've been awesome. Happy coding as always, and create something awesome.